Welcome to Deleted Designs episode number 3, where I show you recently removed products from Amazon to help you build an awareness of what sort of designs you should avoid selling or which keywords might be trademarked, so you can double check if your niches are safe that you've currently got up on Amazon, and also maybe reconsider niches that you want to enter in the future. I also just wanted to mention quickly that in the last episode I said that vibes and mistakes are trademark words for t-shirts, and some people said, well, these words are so broad that you should be able to use them in phrases, and generally I don't disagree with you. However, the thing with Amazon is, for me personally, I'd like to do anything to try and stay clear of trademarks just to be sure, because Amazon is quite unpredictable. We know that their whole rejection removal process can be faulty or is faulty in some ways. I definitely don't trust them to ignore trademarks with common words in them, so that's why I try and keep clear of them. On other marketplaces it's probably absolutely fine to use these and you would never get into any problems, but with Amazon there's always that tiny bit of doubt that they could just suddenly start removing a lot of designs that have vibes in them. So yeah, that's just my understanding, my process. You don't have to apply it, but I like to give the advice that's sort of as safe as possible from my understanding. So first off, just going through some recently removed designs. Some of these might be removed by the creator to free up some space. Not all of these are necessarily Amazon removals. I don't know every time what is wrong with the design. Like it's hard to tell with some of these, but if you see any designs or any niches that you are already selling in, then just go and double check whether there's any trademarks within your listings. Designs like this that just say teacher established 2022, don't see anything wrong with that without looking further into it, but that person could have just used some trademark words in the listing data. There's a lot of football designs being removed again, or sports designs. We've got Detroit here, Broncos, Green Bay, lots of Green Bay. I'm guessing that's all to do with football. I don't know exactly, but something sport related. Tons of these being removed. A big M, that's got to do with the M&M's logo, I think. Girls Trip. I don't think there's anything wrong with Girls Trip on its own, but maybe this picture is from a TV show or something. At least that's what it looks like. This girl is now double digits. Maybe my guess here would be that they maybe used gold in the listing because of this gold text and balloons, so maybe that's one reason this design may have been removed. We can see the same repeating here, so just don't use gold in your listing is what you should learn from that, really. Then we're getting some I love KC in a heart right here. Just a heart and letters KC to beginners might look like something that's fine to sell, but I'm pretty sure from seeing these being removed every now and then, it has to do with football. KC alludes to a team, and the colours red and yellow as well, so that's why these are being removed. Then we've got one design here saying just do it, which is way too close to Nike's tagline, so definitely don't do that. Then we've got a car right here, a car illustration. So I'm guessing that is copying an actual car, and that might be what Amazon removed it. Maybe they even used the model or the manufacturer in the listing somewhere. So definitely not a good idea to do. Oh, and here, by the way, I forgot to point out this one, the thing with the masks. I know it's just a funny design and very innocent, but once again, it relates to COVID, and that is commonly not allowed on Amazon. Don't do anything to do with masks or COVID in general. And moving on to what I think I'm going to call the honorable mentions or honorable deletions, which is just t-shirts that I noticed throughout the week which had been deleted or are very prone to getting deleted that I think you can learn something from. So here in this case we've got 5 birthday girl. So to the naked eye this might look like a cool design style, something unique that seems to sell really well for birthday shirts, but it's not allowed because it relates to Paw Patrol, and this person has also got Patrol in their title, so they definitely know what they're doing. It's not an accident in this case. Don't try and copy this style, even though it might sell really well. It's infringing on that show. Here's another example, a bit different. We've got Grandma Patrol, and once again using that common logo of the show, and this shirt was actually published about a year ago in July last year, so it was on Amazon for a while, but now they've caught onto it, even though there's only Patrol in the title to give it away. You might try and do some of this stuff and get away with it for a year, but after some time Amazon will probably catch up to it, so just a heads up there, these designs are not allowed. Next up we've got a bit of a similar topic. This design says Jesus heavily devoted son, Christ. Yes, the phrase might be alright, but as many of you probably already noticed, this is using the Harley Davidson logo, that sort of crest shape, very, very recognizable design. And that is one of the big reasons why it would sell, and that is why it's not allowed. It's using Harley Davidson's intellectual property to generate sales, and this is why we can see this has been removed. Person has not even used any keywords, I don't think, to do with Harley Davidson, but Amazon can still find it, so this is not a design style that you should be selling. Next up, a more blatant infringement on a trademark. We've got, if you ain't crockin', you ain't rockin'. Yes, a funny phrase, but they're using literally croc illustrations, the shoe brand. This one also lasted about a year, but has been deleted now, so not a good idea to be selling this. And it wasn't even selling that well. I mean, 3 million BSR, 2 reviews, and that person has just received a really big takedown, because infringing on a brand like this would be a big reason to get your account terminated, compared to something like accidentally selecting kids sizing on a beer design. That probably won't have a heavy impact on your account compared to something like this. Right, next design that was deleted is a dirty hoe is a happy hoe. The person actually just used a pun, because hoe is also a gardening tool, this one right here. Obviously it's too controversial, so in this case Amazon doesn't want to have any controversial products on their website, because it could give them a bad reputation, and that's probably why they took it down. Basically just stay away from these sort of jokes that are a bit controversial, and you should be fine. So this design I thought could be something to learn from as well, because it says, I teach my son to hit and steal. And this is sort of condoning or promoting the idea of hate, and that's probably why it's deleted. It does say that in the content policy that Amazon doesn't condone it. So yeah, definitely don't make any jokes like this. Maybe it's like a double meaning, but whatever, definitely don't do it. It's a dangerous strategy to make a design that looks like a bad thing, maybe means something good. It's just too risky. Hawkins Middle School AV Club. This, once again, to someone who doesn't know Stranger Things, might look okay, but it is a topic from that Netflix show. That's a school the kids go to. So Hawkins, anything to do with Hawkins, just stay away from it, because they'll be on the ball. Stranger Things has actually been along the top selling designs on merch by Amazon for weeks now, really crushing it. So there will be lots of people trying to jump onto that train that don't have the rights to sell Stranger Things stuff. But yeah, this one just want to point out, which doesn't necessarily instantly look like something to do with Stranger Things, but it is, and yeah, definitely not allowed. Will get removed. And the last one, just quickly, Zombies Eat Flesh. This has got to do with Halloween, and it's not actually removed yet. It's still live, but is very, very likely going to get removed soon, because Zombies looks a lot like their Subway logo, in case you didn't notice. And yeah, that's why it's not allowed, and probably going to be taken down soon. And now moving on to a few trademarks worth pointing out. So this is one, Pluto, right here, that a lot of you might be aware of, at least the design, the top selling design to do with Pluto. I actually was really wanting to shout this niche out, because it's actually International Pluto Day soon, or Pluto Demotion Day. I don't know what it's called, I can't remember. Anyway, that's coming up soon, so this niche will probably see a lot of sales. But if we look into these details, goods and services, shirts is included right here for this trademark. So an unfortunate one, and yeah, some of you might say, once again, this is more of a common word, shouldn't be allowed to be trademarked. You'd probably be fine on most marketplaces selling this, but on Amazon, I would feel a bit worried having these shirts up in case they suddenly do a sweep for this trademark and take the shirts down, even if there's like tens of thousands of designs. Does that mean Amazon wouldn't do a sweep? I don't know. It's hard to say unless you work for Amazon. So that's why I wanted to shout this one out, in case you wanted to maybe enter that Pluto niche, or you have a few designs up that aren't really selling that well and it wouldn't hurt you to take them down, then maybe just do so as a precaution. And the second trademark worth mentioning is I'm Not Old, I'm Classic. Once again, an Amazon top seller in terms of merch t-shirts, and this is a trademark that is under examination. It's not fully registered. I don't know for sure whether this means they can't actually act this trademark out. In my opinion, they should be able to, but it also says live here, so I don't really know what the rules are specifically, but they're trademarking this word or this phrase For tons and tons of products, t-shirts are included, and if I had to guess, it's probably the person who has that top seller on Amazon because they want to stop people from copying their shirt, copying their phrase, taking away some of that market share. So this was submitted last year in July, which is a long time, so you could maybe expect this to go live at any point. So once again, if you have a few t-shirts up on Amazon in this niche, maybe consider taking them down just to be safe. This one is definitely one that might be acted upon once it's live, because that person has most likely spent a lot of money and time, and they'll want to then actually get use of their trademark afterwards. And just a quick reminder that not every trademark that you find in your trademark checks is one that applies to you. Here we've got the word golf, which you'd probably want to use if you're making golfing designs as one of your keywords or main keywords. This is one that always gets flagged up, but when you actually check the goods and services, it says it is for collars. Since we don't sell collars anywhere to do with print on demand, you can sell this word on any of your products and be totally fine. This is not the only one I've found in the past. I think tennis, for example, is also trademarked for something which doesn't apply to us as POD sellers. So yeah, always double check the USPTO entry for the goods and services section and see what products are listed there. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Deleted Designs. If trademarks and copyright is something that you struggle with, I'd recommend you check out my full in-depth guide, where I also show you tools and tricks of how to keep your accounts safe.